Warning. The following podcast is a figment of your imagination. You're just listening to yourself, man. This is Crudimentary Questions with your hosts, Sandy and Jill.
Hey, Sandy.
Hey, Jill.
So, I have a question for you.
I love it. I'm so excited.
Would you like to live in a world where dragons exist?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is happening in real time. We are in agreement here.
I was going to say, like, you wouldn't, because I would expect nothing less of you.
Yeah.
Than for you to want to live in a world where dragons exist.
Yeah. I want dragons to exist because they're cool and beautiful. But why? I'm surprised at your answer.
Really?
Yeah, honestly.
I am whimsical and strange. I mean, come on.
I thought you'd be afraid.
Wow. We need to talk about my fear. No, you're not wrong. Like, it's the same, but it's the same way that I would like to live in a world where dinosaurs are also still
around.
Yeah.
I mean, dragons and dinosaurs in my head are similar.
And I think we are going to get to that concept at some point.
Sure.
But yeah, they are. They're just one of the things that I really like about dragons.
Sure.
Is that they are a little more personable than like crocodiles.
They're personable.
More personable than crocodiles.
Well, and I will say that, like, I think we should be able to define the kind of dragons that we want to live in this world.
God, I guess you're right.
Because there's different kinds.
You're right. We have to do that.
We have to do that. So what kind of dragon lives in the world that you would like?
Okay, so there's the Lord of the Rings.
Smaug.
Who's a villain dragon.
He's a gold digger.
Yeah, I get that. But he is a personality.
He's intelligent.
Yeah.
It's intelligence.
Yeah, so like he makes decisions, he has relationships.
He talks.
Yeah, he talks. I mean, it doesn't have to sound like Benedict Cumberbatch or whatever, you know.
Blingerton coffee maker.
Backerton, Blotty Shot,
badminton cumbersnatch. This could go on forever.
This poor man. He's a really good actor, and like all people do is just make fun of his name.
He's beautiful in an alien way, and I love him. And he did a great job as Smaug.
He was perfect as Smaug. It just, good Lord, what kind of name?
Are we saying it right? Smaug. I think I'm saying it the way Benedict Cumberbatch says it.
It is Smaug.
Yes.
Which is up for interpretation. Mm-hmm. I think we can all agree that that is up for interpretation. So I say Smaug.
Sure.
Like, I kind of just stretch the A and the U a little bit.
Sure.
But it wouldn't surprise me at all if it's actually Smaug or something.
Well,
but I'm an idiot American and I don't know how to say anything.
Tolkien was a linguist, so he probably spelled it that way on purpose.
Also, Tolkien.
Yeah, what?
Tolkien.
Tolkien.
You said Tolkien. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's Tolkien. It's like an I.
J.R.R. Tolkien.
J.R.R. Tolkien is how you say. We're like, come on. We're not from like the UK. We're doing our best here.
So I'm from Alabama, and I have a hard time with pronunciation all the time on regular words that I know and that I've read. On normal words.
Jill has problems with regular words.
I used to not be able to say pronunciation. I used to be like, I have bad pronunciation. I'm sorry.
Look, we're doing our best, guys. We're just doing our best. We don't mean to offend anyone.
Why is it pronounce? You pronounce. Why is it pronounced all of a sudden? Pronunciation.
You make a very good point.
It's dumb. English is dumb.
Well, English and pronunciation is dumb. All of it is dumb. We aren't. We are not dumb.
So,
however,
going back to dragons.
Yeah, dragons.
What you want smart dragons?
I like the idea of smart dragons.
Smart with personality.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want them to be rare or common?
I would like them to be rare.
Yes.
Well, okay. This is what I would like them to be. Okay. I would like them to be like alligators or crocodiles are to myself right now, which means that they are from a part of the United States that I don't live in.
How many alligators or crocodiles have you seen in your life? Do you estimate?
I would not be able to differentiate between the crocodiles.
That's fine.
Okay.
Just a lump sum.
The lump sum of that kind of animal.
The snappy snap.
The snappy snap animal. I have family from Florida, and so I've probably seen, I would say, up to 15.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
In real life?
In real life, because they bake in the sun, like on people's porches in Florida.
I've seen. Are we counting zoos?
No.
We're not counting zoos?
I personally am not counting zoos.
Oh my gosh. Then I've only seen one.
Really?
And we went to Florida every year. Mm-hmm. My parents live there now, basically full time. But I've literally only seen one in the wild, except for zoos.
I mean, I guess the family I have just lived on the water enough that like my grandmom had a house, and we would wake up in the morning and there would be it was small. It was like a baby alligator, but there would be like an alligator like outside of the pool.
Could you imagine how many times you've seen an alligator snappy snap crocodile?
A snappy snap, yeah.
Imagine it with wings and breathing fire.
I love it. It would make me, because here's the thing. When I was growing up, because I grew up on the East Coast, so I was used to, like squirrels, horses.
Terrifying, bloodthirsty squirrels.
Well, I was just used to those, like furry. I was used to furry wildlife, I would say. Because we had a lot of deer also.
Yeah.
Like deer just running through our backyard. And that was fine. But like when I would go to Florida, I would suddenly have scaly wildlife in the backyard.
So reptiles.
Yes. And so that was and not just snappy snaps, but also like
crawly crawls.
Slithers. A lot more, lizards and snakes in in Florida.
Frogs.
Well, I mean, there are plenty of frogs in Virginia, but you're right. Like it was a lot more like lizards and stuff in Florida. And so you'd wake up in the morning, and instead of having deer in your backyard, you had an alligator and like 4 lizards crawling up the walls. And I mean,
sure,
to like that, it's just very exciting to see a different kind of wildlife than you're used to.
Well, and I remember I went and my sister got married in the Caribbean islands, and so I was there and hanging out in a hammock.
Oh yeah, your hammock story.
I thought I hallucinated this because I was on my 5th
margarita.
No, it was pina colada.
Pina colada.
So much that my grandmother said, Jill, don't you think you've had enough today? And I'm like, nah, Nana.
Nah, Nana. Seriously, we need to write, because we've written so many songs.
Yeah. Do we need a Naw Nana song?
We need a Naw Nana.
Naw Nana. Have you had enough? Naw Nana.
Naw Nana.
So I heard this, I kept hearing this thump. Like thump. Thump. And because I'm just laying in the hammock asleep.
Yeah.
And I look around, and finally I realize, because the thump happened right next to me, and it was an iguana. a giant iguana.
Oh, an iguana.
And I just go, hey, buddy. And he was like, and he just like left.
They just ran away.
But going back to dragons, like that would be cool as shit if this exotic creature that you never get to see fucking talk to you.
See, this is what we haven't really addressed yet.
No, we
is
have
that
not.
Dragons would be something that would be slightly exotic and live in a certain part of the world, but they're not unknown.
Well, so when I thought of asking myself the question, would you want dragons in your world?
Sure.
Like in our 2020
Yeah.
lifetime world right now, not just in history.
Yeah.
But in our world, dragons exist
Sure.
and they're out there. Mm-hmm. I was just like imagining seeing one in the sky.
Right.
They're far away.
This is how, like, I swear to God, like, I'm not trying to interrupt you, but this is how we think about sharks.
Well, yes.
Like,
sharks are fucking scary.
Isn't it fucking cool that they exist? Like, they live in the ocean. They're a lot like the snappy snap alligator crocodiles in that they're
more chompy chomp.
They're chompy chomp.
They're more chompy chomp.
But they've been around for like 450 million years. Like, they are from like the they're from the Jurassic Age or something, you know?
Mesopotamian.
No.
Did I say that right?
Nope.
Nope.
Mesopotamia is different than the
Megalodon.
They're just old.
They're old sharks. Sharks, what do they know?
They're sharks. They have no idea how old they are. However, the basic structure of the species has existed for something like 150 million years.
But here's the thing with sharks versus dragons. Sharks exist in the ocean. They cannot get me if I'm not also in the ocean.
So I guess if this is...
How do you avoid a dragon?
Maybe the dragons only fly in a certain area.
So I guess the question is where do you think dragons would hang out in this world? Like, because I want to say maybe like hot areas.
Madagascar,
yes. That's
because
one island.
It's one island off. It's a African island, and it's super southwest.
There are a lot of different animals on that.
And it's a place where there are weird animals, basically. There are a lot of weird animals and not a lot of people live there.
Okay.
So I feel like that might be a good spot.
Yeah, I think you're right.
For the dragons, because they wouldn't really have to interact with people very often.
They would kill a lot of animals on that island.
But, I mean, it seems like there's just...
They would fit in the food chain somewhere.
I feel like, yeah... This would not work if they didn't fit into the food chain.
They got to fit into the food chain naturally.
Yeah, so we're not advocating for any sort of like particular prey to be taken out by the dragons.
They don't only have a diet for zebras or something.
Yeah, something like that. Like they just, they fit into it in the world we're talking about. The dragons have existed for couple million years or whatever.
Okay, I want to talk about one thing.
Yes.
That I would like about my dragons in my world.
Oh, okay. The dragons in Jill's world.
I want to be able to... Sorry, I got a little emotional about it. I want to be able to train a dragon.
Like, oh, you know what? I was going to be judgmental about that. In the last 25 seconds.
Be yourself.
No, but then I thought about, I trained horses growing up.
Are horses naturally violent though?
Have you met a horse?
Yeah, but you know what? I've only met tame horses. Except if you want to count my video game experience, I have
we don't
lassoed a wild stallion.
We don't count
few times
your video game
in Red Dead
experience.
Redemption.
We don't.
Oh no?
Okay. Yeah, no, we don't.
Okay.
In real life, horses are. I mean, most of the time, yes, of course, you know them as tame, but like, they can fuck you up.
Yeah.
In a lot of different ways.
Sure.
If you cross them, and for a good reason.
So
like, they're bigger than people. They have really sharp hooves, and sharp teeth.
They are dangerous. I will say. They're not like out to eat you.
Yeah, they're not. They are not predators.
Sure.
They are prey animals, but they have defenses. And their defenses are their teeth and their hooves. And keep in mind that human beings are the ultimate prey.
Well, and we're not talking about something very specific with dragons, especially if you tame them. You can ride dragons. Like a horse.
Like a horse. Okay. Yeah. Which is why I was going to judge you and then I didn't.
I get ya.
Because I was like, if you can ride a horse, you can probably ride a dragon.
Well, I would think in my mind that I would prefer a world where dragons exist and also maybe you can ride them or train them or be friends with them. Also, I love the movie How to Train Your Dragon. Also, they animated Toothless in that movie. Have you ever seen the movie?
I've never seen that movie.
Okay, they animate Toothless. He's a all black dragon.
Okay.
And they gave him cat eyes and cat ears and so many behaviors like a cat that I think I want a cat dragon.
All right. Nothing of what you just said in the last 40 seconds makes any sense.
I want a cat dragon that I can ride to work on.
I trust you completely with your desire, and I support you in your desire.
He only eats fish. He's a pescatarian dragon cat.
It sounds like absolute gibberish. A cat dragon?
Yeah.
A cat dragon.
Yeah.
Who eats fish?
Yeah.
I'm going to trust you that that's a thing.
I would feed it like in Free Willy, you know? Like I would throw the fish in its mouth. Like Jessie from Free Willy, you know?
I know Free Willy. I don't know this other reference, but I believe you, and I think it's great. Here is a thing that I have kind of a question about.
I think you should do that.
Because this is complete, we're making this up as we go, right?
You don't have to respect me, Sandy. Just go.
No, well, just we are imagining imaginary things, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So the dragons, like you talk about riding them.
Yeah.
What if they didn't have like a particularly rideable body?
So you could build a saddle chair.
You think you could?
And strap it. I mean, or I could just say they do.
Yeah.
Done.
Or we could say they do. Because horses, if we're going to go back to that, horses are sort of inherently rideable.
They are, yeah.
They just have...
They have that...
a body structure that, like, human...
You can wrap your legs around it.
Yeah, human beings can wrap their legs around. That's just a thing. And, like other kinds of cattle don't have that. Like, buffalo, it'd be
what about
weird.
donkeys?
No, you could totally ride a donkey. It's just donkeys are assholes.
They're asses, I guess.
Yeah, and ass.
Literally.
Yeah, they are.
Literally.
It's funny, stubborn is...
I've never thought to say an ass is asshole.
Me either. And now I think it works.
You're like as an insult, like you're an ass's asshole. It's like
oh my God,
you're the ultimate asshole.
You're such an asshole that you're the asshole of an ass.
Yeah.
That is
you're an ass's asshole.
Great insult. And you know what the funny thing is? Most people won't even get it. And the funny thing is, I totally would. Because I had a donkey.
Well, they would think that it was like Inception where an ass also had an asshole.
Yeah.
Like an asshole.
Yeah.
But no, we're talking about the animal.
Yeah.
The ass. Anyway. Too much of a tangent, but...
No, it's fine.
What were you saying?
Horses are like
built to ride.
Yeah, their body structure really works for human beings to sit on top of them. Right?
Ride it,
pony. Yeah, right. There's one of the reasons that song is so good is because people... Oh my God. Shut the fuck up. Is because people ride horses. That entire song that Jill is referencing...
It's about ponies, technically.
Well, it's about people riding horses.
I thought it was about ponies.
Ponies are horses.
Are they miniature horses?
No. I can explain this to you if you want me to, but
ponies are different from miniature horses, I thought.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
And miniature horses are different than regular horses. And
so going back to dragons.
oh my god.
Do you think there should be tiny dragons?
Yes, absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
There should be
like have in
categories.
the house.
Yeah,
You could have them in the house.
there should be tiny dragons that you could have like cats,
like little kitties.
like cats.
Oh my gosh, and they would fly around.
Oh
and
my-
like, what if you train them to like cook your chicken and shit with their breathing fire?
It'd be like parrots, but dragons.
There are dragons in How to Train Your Dragon. There's a dragon that is very parrot-like. I feel like they take other animals and like use them as inspiration.
I have not seen those films, so I don't get
beautiful
those
movie.
references. But
Have you seen? Go ahead. Sorry.
I like this idea that like there are parrot dragons and there are cat dragons.
There's an owl-like
Oh
dragon.
my god, that sounds great! But of course, we get the whale dragons, which is like the big dragons. Which
yeah, they
again,
got that.
you were asking where should the big dragons live? Like this
Madagascar seems about right.
and Madagascar seems about right, where they can just fly around and like breathe their fire and live their lives. And it's the same way that like with great white sharks, where we just don't. If we don't bother them, they don't bother us.
Right. I'm not afraid of the idea of dragons. I'm honestly like, I know that I might die. But life is scary in general, honestly.
You could get eaten by a crocodile, by a snappy snap.
You could get eaten by a snappy snap or a chompy chomp.
Yeah.
You could get hoofed by a nay nay.
A nay-nay.
A nay nay.
A nay-nay.
A watch me nay nay.
And watch me horsey horse.
Horsey horse. So I think that, I'm so happy. I'm relieved that you have not been fearful of this concept.
Well, I guess most of the time, like dangerous predator animals, right?
Sure.
We just don't have to deal with. Mostly because we live in, Northern America, where the most dangerous thing that we're going to probably encounter is a cougar.
Right.
And most of the time you can just avoid that, But for the most part, people, like human beings, have learned to avoid these, like, big predators by just staying away from them. And that includes places where there's, like, lions and tigers.
And bears. Oh, my.
Oh my. Like, just stay away. Like, people in Alaska, like, they just stay away from the bears and the bears stay away from them.
Exactly.
Like, and, like, we're all just okay. So if there were dragons flying around, like, big, flappy flaps.
Yeah.
With the smoky smoke.
With the smoky smoke. And the fires.
And the fires. Like, if they were out and about, it would be, like, maybe a news story that would be like, hey, the Flappy Flap is out and about. Just avoid this particular area.
Well,
we all would. We would.
We could also posit the idea of the dragons being super nice dragons, like the luck dragon from Neverending Story.
I've never seen that.
I didn't think you had, because you have been like neglected of all joy.
Yep, totally.
You've been neglected of joy. We're gonna watch Neverending Story.
Yeah.
The luck dragon is amazing.
Ages 3 to 19. I pretty much wasn't allowed to interact with society. So
Falcor.
yeah.
Start a movie series.
Yes.
Sandy reviews it.
Oh, producer just had an idea where we should start a series of live, like we could live tweet you watching a movie, like Neverending Story that you've never seen before. Like, what the fuck is happening? Why is the snail talking to this rock monster?
Because I have yeah, you're right. He's right. I have no reference for it.
And no nostalgia.
You
don't have the nostalgia to back it up.
Yeah.
But Falcor is a luck dragon from Neverending Story. He looks kind of like a dog.
Oh, he's the kind of ferret.
He's yes.
Is he the ferret?
He's very ferrety, doggy,
Okay.
fluffy. He's a fluffy dragon.
The kid rides him.
And the kid rides it.
Yeah.
Because how many things can you there's so many fantasy stories where people ride a dragon or a flying creature of some sort.
Gotcha. Yeah, for
I
sure.
think it might be in everyone's wildest fantasy is to ride a creature in the air.
You're right. It is. thought about riding a Pegasus when I was a kid.
Me too. She-Ra from He-Man rode a Pegasus.
Again,
you've not seen that.
Nope. No understanding.
She-Ra's amazing. She's like
all.
a warrior Valkyrie type. Oh, she wasn't Valkyrie technically, but anyway, don't worry about it. Wait. I'm gonna find something you've seen.
No.
Where someone has ridden a thing.
Probably not.
In the air.
Nope.
Did you?
Not gonna happen.
Did you? Oh, Rescuers Down Under.
Somehow, you got it. Oh my god!
Did I do it?
Yeah. The bird. They rode.
He rides a golden eagle.
Yes. Oh my god. Jill,
Yeah,
you
that
tapped
fantasy.
It. Oh, you fucking
That
tapped
fantasy.
it. Oh my. Sorry,
I find you?
I'm yelling too loud into the mic because I'm so excited. That is exactly. I love that. That's it. That was mine. Because I didn't get Falcor. I didn't get all the other ones, but I got that one.
You got that one.
For some reason, I was allowed to watch the Rescuers Down Under, and he rides this golden eagle, and there's this scene where they go off a cliff, and like you think he's gonna die, but he doesn't. He's just suddenly like thousands of feet in the air, and I have to tell you,
Yep.
like in addition to so many other like crazy like references in my life, my dad is a pilot, and so when I was a kid, I sat in the cockpit of his plane, and we flew through this giant like cluster of clouds, and I knew we were 16,000 feet in the air. I knew that, you know that intellectually, you know that, but then you get through, you start going through these clouds, and you're just like, you don't know what's up and what's down, and like the windows are just covered in condensation, and just everything is shaking, and you just don't know where you are, and then all of a sudden you break through these clouds, and then all of a sudden you are 16,000 feet in the air, and you're looking at the ground, and then you're looking at the sky, and you're in the middle of the air, and it feels, and you're flying, and
You're
literally
flying.
it feels like you're flying.
And it's not like how you fly in an airplane. You're like
No.
actually feeling the wind and shit.
You're feeling the shaking of the air, and
you are describing an airplane. Never mind.
Yes, I'm literally describing an airplane, but I am describing a small airplane. And that's what it felt like in Rescuers Down Under when he was on the back of the Golden Eagle. And
Did I tap into that?
You tapped into that, and you just basically made me come.
It was fantasy cum though.
Yeah,
it was childhood fantasy cum.
I just childhood fantasy cummed, which is not a phrase that I want to say often. It's fine. It's just I will not say that phrase often. I will say that. So let us go to our internet section. We're gonna look up
we're gonna look up about dragons, about how they've affected our culture. I'm sure there's a lot of problems with dragons that we haven't mentioned.
so many like there are so many probably like options for problems with
There's
dragons.
probably a lot of problems where the dragons get a little too fire
fire snappy snap
little
chompy chomp.
too much eat.
Yeah. A little too much eat with the dragons.
All right, so
we are gonna look up some stuff on the internet, and we will be right back.
Woo. Have you heard of youtube.com?
Yes, I'm familiar.
Did you know that we're on it and you can listen to all of our episodes through YouTube?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not. And you could put on subtitles, and sometimes they're really wrong.
That sounds amazing.
In fact, if you're listening right now on YouTube, turn on subtitles and get ready for the hilarity that ensues.
You will not be disappointed.
What did it just say?
It's YouTube. It's not just for cat videos.
That is right. And now back to the show. All right, we are back.
Woo, we got Jill with the internet. Jill and the internet. What a combination.
Interneting.
Yeah, let's have it.
It's like Charlie Sheen winning, but instead of it's interneting.
Interneting.
Winning. I've looked up some Flappy Flap stuff.
Flappy Flap. And just a reminder, if you forgot, from the 45
break.
seconds, over the break, Flappy Flaps
It's a dragon.
are the dragons. Those are the dragons.
Snappy Snap is an alligator / crocodile.
Yes.
And a Chompy Chomp's a shark.
Yes.
What was a horse?
Kick. I think it was a kicky kick. No, it wasn't it was a horsey horse. I think we just.
I like kicky kick. I think I really like kicky kick. All right, so I interneted. The first question is: are dragons good or bad?
So it's like meta. It's like serious. Like no, I like the question because it starts at the beginning. It's like it's
so basic. It's like a child asking a question about dragons. Like are they good or bad?
Let's start at the beginning. A very good place to start. Are dragons good or bad?
All right. So Hayden from YahooAnswers.com.
Yes.
Says,
Hayden,
I heard 2 myths about dragons. Myth 1, they like to kidnap princesses and take gold. Also burn down villages, kill for fun.
That sounds bad.
Myth 2, they are friends to mankind and they are a symbol of wisdom. Yeah. I liked that. So there are a few answers. The favorite answer from Infinity Midnight.
Also, Yahoo Answers, the bastion of knowledge.
It's the only place I go for information.
Seriously. I went to college. Fuck
college.
Fuck that.
Fuck college. Pay nothing. Yahoo Answers.
Yahoo Answers. It costs $0 and it has all the knowledge.
All right. So favorite answer: Infinity Midnight. They are both. Because they are good when they burn down villages, tear down castles, kill hundreds. Bad because they take princesses. Who wants a stuck-up snob who only cares about a prince rescuing them? Dragons are amazing. They are fearless warriors that come to the command of a dragon lord. Most just want to bring magic back. They are known to save kids, but kills the wicked. Also, their flames can kill, but it can also heal. What's not to love?
There is so much that makes no sense. I have too many questions. Okay, what? There's a lot of judgment calls being made in that whatever answer.
Honestly,
I'm big quotation marks around answer right there. He mentions who are the wicked?
What, he said wicked?
Yeah, and at some point...
Oh, yeah, but kills the wicked.
He kills...
Yeah. They're known to save kids, but kills the wicked.
Yeah, who are the wicked? And who gets to decide what the wicked are?
Well, okay, but this answer, for some reason, what popped into my brain during this, reading this, is Skyrim, which we haven't talked about. But I know you haven't played Skyrim.
Yeah, sorry. You just watched my eyes go, completely glassy.
Glazed over.
I know what Skyrim is. I have not played the video game.
I have put maybe 800 hours of my life into
know
Skyrim.
It's a really cool video game.
I did a mod and it made a thing happen where there was a dragon every 10 seconds. It was a problem, but I had so many dragon bones I was over encumbered.
Just gibberish.
But it reminded me of some of the books I would read in Skyrim where it was just dragons are amazing. They are fearless warriors that come to the command of a dragon lord.
Okay. Pretend
Dragonborn, by the way.
Pretend that everybody listening has not played Skyrim.
I don't want to. Everyone has. Even you, Sandy.
I watched a person play a lot of Skyrim.
Yes, you did.
But I didn't play it myself, so we have to work around
I only wanted to mention it briefly.
Okay.
So we don't have to go down that Skyrim hole.
But I do want to discuss this person's answer.
I have a Skyrim joke, by the way.
Which will not make me laugh because I will not understand it. But please, go ahead.
So why did the Dragonborn want to visit High Hrothgar?
I don't know what those words
Because he
means.
wanted to see what all the foos was about.
Just don't know what those words mean. I'd love to laugh at your joke. I would love to do it if any of that made any sense to me at all.
It's stupid.
Well,
right.
I'm happy if anybody is laughing.
It's dumb. Okay, so Becky on Yahoo Answers says, it's kind of like humans. There can be kind dragons or evil dragons. From what I've read, dragons are generally considered smarter than humans. I agree with that.
I have not heard that, but it kind of doesn't surprise me. I mean, I like the thought that, of course, because these are like mythical creatures, they don't really exist, right? But in our imagination, they do have like human personalities. Of course, you would have smart ones, dumb ones, good ones, bad ones. You know, just the way that you have people.
Sure.
So you would just kind of imagine them. It's like imagining fictional people, except they've got flappy.
They're flappy flaps.
They've got
They
the
are
flappy flaps and a little bit of a chompy chomp.
And they've got chompy. These
A
are
little
just
bit.
making me think of overweight people with overbites.
I think of them more as like flying crocodiles at this
Okay,
point,
okay, sure.
because of our previous conversation.
I was thinking of my arms when I do this. Like I'm doing the chicken dance right now, and my arms,
Jill's
like
doing
my
chicken
arm
dance,
fat goes
yeah.
to flappy
Yeah,
flap.
yeah. No, but the wings, yeah. So they like really, it could be really smart people who fly and breathe fire, who are nice.
Sure.
It could be really dumb people who are mean and breathe fire.
All right.
Which is kind of like human beings.
No, it is. And I think that is something that fictional or realistic writers don't understand, is that one race of animal or person aren't the same. You can't stereotype things or people.
Well, I mean, I think it means that like it can be both.
Yeah.
You know, like you can write about people, and obviously they're people, right? So, you know, you have that context, you have that understanding. You have the understanding of humanity. You're writing from the perspective of humanity because you are yourself a human. But let's pretend that humans are dragons. And
Are all humans breathing fire and killing everything in sight?
but what I'm saying is that we're the same, is that we're just as dangerous.
Yeah, and some are more dangerous than others.
Yeah. So there are
And
people,
some are really nice.
there are people
and
who
cool.
Yeah, there are people who want the best for others and are empathetic and try to do good, and they have that power. And then there are people who are narcissistic and don't care and just want to gain for themselves, and they do damage. And what if in a like take both of all of that, put them onto a dragon, and then say also you can breathe fire?
Yeah, I don't want to give that ability to anyone I know, except maybe you. I trust you.
Thank you so much.
I trust you.
I would only breathe fire in the most extreme situations when
You would do it to light a cigarette.
I would breathe fire to light a cigarette, and I would breathe fire to light like a bonfire.
A bonfire. Yeah, that would be nice.
Do you remember that time? There was that one time that you and I and
Oh gosh, our
was
friend Shelly, that we will mention because she is a listener of this podcast. Hey, Shelly.
Hi, Shelly.
I love you.
Me, Jill, and Shelly could not light a fire in her backyard.
with cardboard. We tried so hard.
We looked it up on the internet, and we could not figure out how to light this fire. And then Carlos, who is on this podcast occasionally,
He's a fire-breathing dragon.
yeah, he came
He literally is a dragon.
like he showed up and lit that fire in like 5 minutes.
He is amazing.
Was awesome.
All right, so the next one that I have,
Next question.
I have is from Dog Trainer 1996.
Love it.
And it's just, are dragons real? Question mark for infinity.
They don't know.
Nope.
You know what? I guess it's the same with someone who's like, who thinks maybe like unicorns are real.
Yeah.
That they just live like in
They
Madagascar.
live that
They live in Madagascar
with unicorns.
with dragons. Like
or dragons.
dragons and unicorns live in Madagascar. Like it's just this place that they don't know about. That they're like, I know weird animals live there, and I don't know what they are.
Yeah. All right. I'm about to read an answer. I'm going to read the entire thing. I'm not going to stop.
Okay.
But I just want you to know that it's going to go down a rabbit hole a bit.
Oh, for like on like Yahoo Answers.
Oh,
Answers.
yes.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't know.
Just do it.
But it's the favorite answer and from Anonymous 1 decade ago.
Okay, and I am going to react.
Yeah, no, but let me read this entirety thing because it's crazy.
Okay.
Yes, dragons are real, and some of their offshoots appear in nature currently, as others have said. No life form ever dies, even though their physical manifestation of them on Earth may become extinct. Same goes for us. We are all spiritual beings in physical bodies, and when our bodies die, spiritual us continues forever. We lived before we chose to become human, and we will live after we die. My ex was a trance medium, and in 1993, we began receiving communications from a dragon spirit called Dega. He still communicates, but through a different channeler now. I can sense what he says. He is a loving teacher who helps those on Earth that teach others. He says that dragons had a bad press. He also told us that they didn't actually breathe fire, but hot steam, which nevertheless did scald people, for which he is now very sorry. Dragons love humans.
This is not okay.
He is a large green land dragon who didn't fly. Some were able to, and some were not. And that's it.
I want to be like, I'm like really...
He didn't actually breathe fire but hot steam, but it nevertheless did scald
They,
people.
they have an explanation, for the behavior.
It's like, oh, it wasn't that bad, but it was bad.
Yeah. It only hurt people like a little bit. I think I'm more concerned with like the mental health aspect of this, in that if this person is not a troll, if this is real, if that was a real answer, then that is a person having delusions, and that person needs to get help. And I don't want to make like fun of somebody who needs to get help.
I will tell you that a lot of the answers I'm looking at, like I'm glancing at right now, are people who say, yes, dragons are real. Yes, dragons are real. Dragons are authentic, though we've not gotten any info of their existence.
Did they think that dragons were like dinosaurs that just died out?
I asked the same question. I got a bunch of hullabaloo from non-believers. I think there is scientific things correct about dragons, and I know deep down that either they are real or they were real.
I think one of the things that we haven't touched on like at all is the fact that dragons, or lore of dragons, like exist in like every culture.
Yeah, well, and that is the interesting thing, like the Japan or Chinese dragon.
Yeah, like there are Asian dragons, there are North American dragons, there are European dragons.
There's
like,
the water dragon.
Yeah, like every culture has this idea of a flappy monster.
It's a flappy flap.
A flappy flap monster.
There's flappy flaps.
And why, why do we have the flappy flap monster? Like, what?
I do not know.
What, like, I think part of it is a bit of the whole idea of, I mean, maybe this is too big of a discussion to have, but, like, we also have an idea of God. Like every culture has some idea of God, and every culture has a flood myth, and every culture has a flappy flap monster. I don't know why, but we all kind of end up thinking the same thing, like our brains will just put together like these stories
Yeah.
And these myths, and I mean, it's interesting. It's just like I would love to know why we do this.
It's because we're creative, imaginative beings, and we want to imagine.
I know,
this
but we're
world.
like,
and we're probably inspired by the Loch Ness monster or plesiosaurs in the dragon.
There was no Loch Ness monster like
no
40,000 years ago.
But there were dragons. I mean, no, sorry, there were dinosaurs.
But we didn't know about that's the question. I mean, we don't do research for this podcast. We say this over and over again. # no research, right? But like who found out about the first dinosaur? Is that the person who
we should do that? We're gonna have a dinosaurs episode. I promise. We're going to have a dinosaurs episode.
God, finally. So
all right. So I got one more before we go to Ask a Guy. I got one more.
One more.
I have a dragon. Okay, wait. This is from Anarch on Yahoo Answers. I have a dragon in my garage. Do you want to see? Well, too bad. That dragon is invisible. You want to get his footsteps by placing flour on the floor? Well, that would work, but my dragon floats. You want to measure body heat or fire? Too bad. He's non-corporeal, and that his fire is not hot. If I said something like this and shot down every one of your attempts to see the dragon in my garage, you would believe that the dragon is there? No. That's how we atheists feel when we're told that God exists without any way to test those claims.
I hate everything that you just said. I just hate it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And it's bullshit. Like, I don't even know what it's trying to explain.
But it's interesting and refreshing that you say that as someone who may or may not identify as an atheist.
No, I know. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. But, like, that's not how I explain the lack of my belief in God.
This is interesting.
It has absolutely nothing to do with, like, footsteps of non-corporeal yeah, sorry. If you wanna talk to me about why I don't believe in God, don't talk to me about dragons. Like, it's not a way to explain it.
I just thought that you would have. Apparently, this is an adaptation from an example Carl Sagan gave in one of his books.
Okay, well, maybe I need to read it, but it sounds like bullshit to me. So,
in other words, gods aren't something to see in a garage. Gods are not Flappy Flaps.
No, gods are not Flappy Flaps. And the problem, like, this is bringing up an entirely thing that we didn't want to talk about, but, like, that's not how I think about God. I don't think about him as a Flappy Flap in a garage that you're hiding.
Yeah.
You know? I get the point. Like, no, they don't have a dragon in their garage. And they have no evidence for the dragon in their garage.
But we're supposed to, believe in.
But you're supposed to believe in the dragon in their garage. It's fine. It's just like, that's
weird. What they're saying is that as atheists, we're told to believe. Sorry, that's how we atheists feel when we're told that God exists without any way to test those claims.
No, sure. I get that. Like, Like, people who believe in God are telling me that there's a dragon in their garage, and I say,
no, there's not a dragon in your garage.
There isn't.
Prove it.
I say, like, show me the garage, and they're like, haha,
sorry,
no,
it's invisible.
Oh, yeah, it's not there, and I get that. It's just like,
too much.
No, it's
too
not
much.
Too much. It's just like it's not a really, it's a inefficient way to talk to a person who believes in God about not believing in God.
Well, as someone who actually does believe in God, as maybe I've not said on this podcast yet, and maybe that's another episode to flesh this out, not a dragons episode.
Sure.
To flesh this out. But I will say that I think that they're trivializing it a little bit.
That exactly.
I think as someone who believes in God, I think they're trivializing it.
And as someone who doesn't believe in God, I think they are trivializing it.
Yeah.
I think that is a really condescending way to talk to somebody who does believe in God.
Yeah.
And I don't wish to condescend to anybody. So
there we go.
Let's not do that.
Oh my God. Sandy, we've agreed on trivializing God, and we've agreed that we want dragons to exist.
Flappy flaps
We
for
want
all.
flappy flaps for
Flappy
life.
flaps for life.
This is amazing.
All right, so let us. I don't know. We're gonna ask the dude, but we are gonna call a guy.
I'm gonna ask him about dragons.
We're gonna talk about some flappy flaps.
We're gonna ask him about flappy flaps. We'll be back. Ask a guy. We need a man's opinion, so we'll ask a guy.
Hello, this is Tavius.
Hey, Tavius. Welcome to Crudimentary Questions.
I love it.
Thank you so much for coming back to the show.
So,
It's always a good time.
Sandy has a question for you.
Okay.
All right, sure enough.
All right. So Tavius,
Yes.
would you like if there were dragons in our lives right now?
Okay.
Like if they existed.
No.
No? No?
I like them existing maybe in a past, sure, but I don't want a dragon lifestyle. Because like there is no way that dragons aren't just like sitting on top of like all of our cities, just picking us off. Like,
Okay, yeah, I was just about to ask, what kind of dragon are you imagining right now, and like, why don't you want them to exist in today's world?
I mean, I obviously imagine it probably 20-foot big winged fire breathing esque dragon.
Mm-hmm. Flappy flaps?
Flappy flaps, not a wyvern. Wyverns are different than dragons, but I'm a nerd,
Yeah.
Oh, what's a wyvern? What's a wyvern?
The Game of Thrones dragons are wyverns.
Yes, they are wyverns.
Because
What?
they have wings for arms instead of 4 arms and wings.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
It's basically like the Pete's dragon. Pete's dragon is just wings. They are not wyverns because he has separate arms.
Oh my God. You guys are It's just gibberish to me. Like, the only thing I know is the Game of Thrones dragons, and my understanding was that they had the forearms and the wings.
No.
No, they've just got legs and their arms are their wings.
Yeah, they're wyverns. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Man, we called the right call guy.
We
for
called
this
the
one.
right guy. We called the right guy for this. Okay, so,
All the nerd about dragons. I mean,
yes,
that's probably the best
I will
choice.
nerd out with you about dragons right now because,
Sweet.
I'm, Game of Thrones lady. I read
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a Skyrim lady, and also
Got it.
all the other Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter.
Yep. Yep.
Also, How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, yeah,
do it.
of course.
I'll do it.
Okay, so
I'm in there.
let's
I'm a member of all those clubs.
Yes.
let's be clear.
And the classic Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, no.
Yes.
Have you brought this up?
Okay, no, I would like to clarify something real quick.
Yes.
We don't like the wyverns, or we do.
No, wyverns are great.
Okay,
Yeah, they're perfectly fine.
Wyverns are just, they use their arms as wings. They're wingy.
Yes.
Okay.
They're more flappy flap than handy
Yeah.
hand.
okay. So
They're like in the they're in the dragon's family. Let's put it. Let's closer to that. Let's say that. But
Okay.
they're not classically a dragon.
and these are the Game of Thrones dragons. Is that they don't?
Yes, those are wyverns.
They don't have forearms. They just have the flappy flaps.
Yeah, they have flappy flaps and legs.
Okay.
Like just 2 legs.
Okay. All right. So
4 limbs, just 2 of them are wings, 2 of them are legs.
and
Yeah.
so to clarify, the thing that you're afraid of is dragons with the wings and the arms.
I think any large flying lizard that breathes fire is not great for our society.
I am so happy about this. I am so happy. Because me and Sandy have just talked for like 45 minutes about how much we want to have dragons in our world, and we haven't really addressed the problems that dragons present.
No, we
in our world. They would cause traffic jams.
we had an understanding, Jill. I thought we had an understanding that the dragons live in Madagascar.
Okay, they're rare. We got to describe the kind of dragons we would want to live in our world. So ours wasn't the murdery kind and the ever prevalent kind, and also the, kill you every time you wake up kind. So.
Oh, so do I want a sweet pet dragon? Yes, sure.
Okay, yeah. I want the dragon that I can train, that I can ride to work. I want the dragon that I can exist with. So that's hard.
Right, but the problem there is if there's a nice dragon, there's got to be a dick dragon.
Yeah.
If there's good pet dragon, then there is I'm in a bad mood, horrible dragon that got raised by horrible parents, and it's just I'm eating New York. That's just what I'm doing today.
I'm just New York.
It's all just flown by. Yeah, no.
Well,
all cities are a bad idea with that. That's all I'm saying.
I thought about it more in terms of sharks. There are sharks that live in the ocean and they're chompy chomps and occasionally chomp, people. Yeah. But if we avoid them, they will avoid us.
Sure.
And so I was thinking that the dragons, if they existed, if we just avoid them, then they would avoid us. That was my thought. We wouldn't avoid them, and they wouldn't. We obviously can't keep species that were perfect that aren't eating us alive because people keep hunting them. Species that occasionally hunt a whole town of people are going to be let's get rid of those. That's task number one. Even if they're all nice, people are going to start hunting them.
Well, okay, and I want to mention something that we've talked about, but dragons in mythology are sometimes, or more often than not, intelligent, just like humans.
Yes.
So I think that they would be, with that intelligence, more of a threat in a way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With more intelligence, I would think they'd be more of a threat, 100%. Because they would see us as a species as, we're not great to the environment. We're not great to the planet that they're living on. If they're big and smarter than us, they're probably going to help lower our numbers just for the general planet.
Exactly.
At least that's my thoughts. And then you're going to probably also have a curmudgeonly, gold dragon who just is I'm in a cave and I like gold.
Okay, can I ask you something? Because you might know. How do you pronounce J.R.R. Tolkien?
J.R.R. Tolkien?
Yeah.
Tolkien?
No. How do you pronounce Hobbit dragon? Smaug.
Smog?
Smog,
right? It's Smog.
Smog. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been told that it was Smaug.
I have heard Smaug a couple times.
I don't know what to do.
At least in any of the stuff that, I guess it's different if you're British. Maybe
I think
that's
it's the Binderdom clamber snatch. The problem,
right?
He's
because
the problem.
Also the kind of joke on his name is this kind of smog, but it's spelled funny. That's the bit, I guess.
Yeah, no, it is
the quirky Tolkien bit.
Yeah. No, and I said Tolkien earlier, and it was a problem. It caused a kerfuffle. And it was a situation.
Well, it became, Jill said J.R.R. Tolkien, and I was like, it's Tolkien.
Yeah, I know.
It's Tolkien.
I know.
And then we were saying Smaug, and then we were saying Benedict Cumberbatch.
And then we were saying blender smooth.
Blundersmitch Cumbersmash?
Yeah. There was a lot of
Blender Fitch Cumberblatch.
Blender Smouch.
And it became a whole thing. Anyway, would you please clarify these things for us? Is it Tolkien?
It's Tolkien.
It's Tolkien.
Or is it Tolkien? Or is it Tolkien?
It's 100% Tolkien.
Okay, it's Tolkien.
It's Tolkien.
I've heard interviews with his son say it, so I'm just going with the guy whose name it is.
It's Tolkien, and it's Smog.
Yeah.
And
Smog,
it's
100%.
and then it's Benedict Cumberbatch.
No, it's not. It's
No,
not that.
it's not.
That's not.
That's definitely not
That's
true.
wrong.
That last one is
Totally
definitely
wrong.
Okay,
Wonderland
it's
Ram
wrong.
Direct.
It's bed and bath.
Bed and Bath Smoggerspock.
It sounds like you're making up names for my podcast now.
It's Bed Bath and Beyond. And
it's Bed Bath and Beyond. That's
it's
his name
Bed
now.
Bath and Beyond. That's the right
Yes.
pronunciation.
Yeah, I think that's the pronunciation. That's how you say it in High Elvish, I think.
Yeah,
In High Elvish,
that's right.
that's how it's pronounced.
That is right. Okay, one last question before we leave you, Tavius. We're going to leave you
Sure
with
enough.
this. Okay. If you were to tame a dragon, would you ever ride it?
Of course.
Would you ride
Absolutely.
it into the clouds?
100%. I
Oh
mean,
my
my
gosh.
preference on a dragon, if I could have a dragon, I would go with the luck dragon from Neverending Story.
Yes!
Yeah.
Falcor is my choice.
Yeah.
That is correct. That's the correct
I would
answer.
still chase the bullies who bullied me in like grade school, even as adults. I would chase them with them.
Okay, since I haven't seen this movie, and we can talk about the reasons that I haven't seen this movie, was there a saddle on? the luck?
No. Gotta raw dog that. What is it called? Freeback.
Well, and Falcor is a dog. Falcor is a dog in a way. So you raw dog.
Falcor's
Definitely raw dog your dragon. You raw dog
Yes,
your
Dog,
absolutely.
your luck dragon. That's the
Absolutely.
look in it. You
Yeah.
know, that's the luck.
Absolutely.
You're not going to get pregnant if you raw dog a luck dragon.
Okay, yeah.
No, because luck is on your side. Unless you want to get pregnant. I mean, luck is on your side, I guess, right?
That's right. That's completely correct.
I have no idea if what you guys are saying makes any sense at
You
all.
have won so many game shows tonight. I'm just so happy about it. I'm so happy. Well, okay. We're gonna let you go, Tavius. Thank you so much.
Sure enough. It's always wonderful talking to you guys.
Yeah, thank you for telling me about raw dog and a dragon.
Oh, we love it.
I'm
Sure enough.
Never gonna forget it.
Good luck. Wink, wink.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. That's it.
We just talked a lot about Flappy Flaps.
We flappy flapped the flap out of that flap.
And the Flappy Flaps weren't about vaginas. I just want to point out.
No, it wasn't a vagina story. It was a dragon story. Dragons and vaginas have a lot in common. They both breathe fire.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Absolutely.
And they both flappy flap sometimes.
And they both, have a good and bad situation where you're not sure
Yeah.
what they're going to do.
It could be good. It could be bad.
We want to thank wholeheartedly Tavius for letting us interview him about dragons so much.
I am so happy that he
said no.
Well, no, he just had an opinion and it was strong.
And it was strong, but it was different. And I was very I thought he'd be like, yeah, I want dragons. Blah.
Yeah.
And just like we were. But he was the logical point of reference where he was like, no, you guys, dragons will kill you.
It would be bad. We shouldn't have
It would be a bad thing.
dragons. Yeah.
And I just want to mention that Tavius he runs a podcast called Spooning in the Apocalypse. Okay, you're gonna want to put this on your feed.
Yeah, put it on your podcast list.
Yeah,
It's called Spooning in the Apocalypse, and it's hard to describe but I'm just gonna try real quick.
Oh,
It is so imagine that the apocalypse happened and there's like mutants and crazy stuff happening, but there is an advice show that you can call into.
yeah.
And in the midst of that, there's this advice show.
Well, and then like you're loving your person in the apocalypse, and you need advice towards that person.
but you need advice about mutants.
Well, not always about mutants. It could be other things. It's like Fallout if you played Fallout. And then also you're in love with a person and you might need advice towards like making that relationship better. Relationships
It's
Radiation Ships.
yes, radiation ships.
It's the show within the show.
The show within the show is radiation.
It's a ridiculous podcast, and it's amazing.
It's so
and you should check it out.
funny and wonderful.
Anyway, we fleshed out dragons so hard, and I'm so happy about it, Sandy.
Me too. I know so much more about myself. Once again, after this podcast, I've learned a lot about me, a lot about you, Jill.
Yep.
And just a lot about ourselves in general.
Yeah, and I think that our naming of animals should keep going. It should
for sure.
always be
So-
Chompy Chomps, Snappy Snaps, and Flappy Flaps, and Kicky Kicks.
Yes.
From here on out, that's all we're gonna name animals.
Now, what do we call cats? Just real quick.
Scratchy Scratches.
Scratches.
Toby was just in the studio a minute ago. He would be fine with that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. And till next time,
Stay crude.
my dudes.